You said something to me about foot fetishes.
Oh,
and
yeah, let's talk.
People love your feet. Is what you said to me before we went live. What is
Yeah,
up?
we were
What is up
talking.
with
Well,
that?
it was on my Instagram, right? So
Yeah.
okay, what's up with that? The origin of that is, so when I started doing social media and came up with my brand and moniker, Ask Anita Astley. One day I was sitting outside. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fed up of taking selfie. I mean, I don't like to take pictures of myself, but it's part of, social media. You got to do stuff.
do it, yeah.
And I am the brand, by the way. So
Yeah.
people who say to me, oh my God, it's always a picture of you.
You got
it's
to.
all
That's what,
about
dude.
you.
I think you gave
You're
me this
so-
before we went
you're-
live.
yeah.
Look, check this out.
My feet are on there.
There we go. The feet are on there.
Anita, you're
exposed.
so narcissistic.
You
I'm like,
think you're
okay.
on Wiki Feet? Do you have a Wiki Feet rating? You think?
I don't know. Maybe I should get one.
We should
But
find out. Yeah.
it was very innocent, okay? So I decided, I don't want to fucking put my face on there. I'm so fed up with this face and my hair is all over the place. I just put a picture of my feet, not thinking anything of it.
Yeah.
This was
You
like
knew what you
4
were
years.
doing.
No, I didn't. Now I do. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
is intentional, okay?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that I would attract this whole foot fetish community. I actually
Mm-hmm.
didn't know much about it, and I've always hated my feet because I thought they were ugly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to thank all my feet-loving people for, sending me all great vibes when I
feet
post a picture.
positivity, yeah.
Yeah, I finally love to love my feet. So then I thought, oh, this is so interesting. I did not know about this. And then it kind of grew into, let me do Instagram Live on foot fetish. What are fetishes all about? And podophilia, by the way, #1 fetish. And what
did you call it?
a podophilia? That's
That's what it's
that's
called.
a clinical name.
Okay,
of
it
a
sounded really
foot
close
fetish.
to something else.
And okay, no, you're not pedophilia.
Yeah,
And I just want to say, I don't have a foot fetish.
Yeah.
But I also want to share that I'm Indian. In the Indian culture,
Mm-hmm.
feet are not sexual. They actually represent wisdom. And when you come across somebody who's older than you, and I grew up like this, by the way, you touch their feet.
Whoa.
It's in honor of all your wisdom will now be transferred to me. And Indian people, by the way, don't wear shoes. We love to be barefoot.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of flack on my Instagram page. Oh my God, you're just doing this for that. I'm like, I live a barefoot fucking life. If you guys get aroused on this, well, good for you. I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
But
maybe I
I'm
can
not
help you
doing
out.
to titillate you. But now I might actually do it to
Yeah,
titillate
that's
you.
interesting. So, okay, so if wisdom is passed through, what does that mean when people want to suck toes and shit?
Well,
Like,
it's
what
not
kind of
sexual.
am I-
No, that's just sexual. Okay.
So no wisdom.
No wisdom in there.
Oh,
But I want to, the
damn it.
t-shirt that you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Pull it
going,
up one more time.
yeah. So this was a picture that I took. I just come out of the shower, took a, quick, here I go, I have to feed the social media. And then somebody, one of my, now I'm friends with this person, is a designer in Paris. And I was so privileged and flattered. He took the picture and he put it on a t-shirt. And then he sent me this t-shirt. And then I posted on social media. And everybody's like, oh my God, I want this t-shirt. I'm like, okay. So I got a whole bunch of t-shirts printed. I have a whole bunch of them. I give them away with my book sometimes. So I don't have a foot fetish. But I also, now that you brought it up,
Yeah.
there is a huge difference between a fetish and an admiration. Let's talk about that.
Oh, okay.
You
yeah.
want to?
Yeah.
Do we
What's
have
the
time
difference?
to go
Sure. Yeah. We can
here?
get to it. We can get to it.
Okay. A fetish, guys, is a clinical term. Okay. A fetish is when you need that fetish item, like the foot, if you have a fetish of the feet, to get aroused and complete your arousal. Without that coveted fetished item, it doesn't happen. So people say, oh, thank you for doing, because I did a whole show on it. You guys, and there are people, by the way, when we stop laughing and giggling about it, where they have a foot fetish. And I've had many messages from men.
Okay. It is
Anita,
usually
thank you
guys.
so much.
It is
Yeah,
usually
I
guys,
hate
yeah.
to say it,
Yeah, yeah.
guys. It's usually men who have said, thank you so much for doing that, because people think we're perverts, people think we're weird, but I've had a foot fetish, and and I haven't told my wife. I'm 55 years old, and it's not in the bedroom. It's a huge problem. Like, after we get through all the ha ha ha, it's a serious problem for some people, because their partner doesn't understand it and they're too ashamed to actually explain it. And then we say, well, why do I have this foot fetish? I don't want to get too clinical on this, but from my understanding of it and my clinical perspective is that when we're and if I'm listening to people after this, who shared stories, is before you're even aware of your sexuality, say it was you, we'll use you as an example.
Sure. Yeah.
You have a babysitter, right? The
okay.
babysitter comes over and you're like pubescent, not even, you're 4 or 5. She sits on you. She starts playing, she puts her little toes in your mouth and blah, blah, blah. You don't tell your mommy.
That's
she
a
keeps coming.
freaky ass
No, wait a
babysit-
minute,
Yo.
wait. And this happens to you repeatedly.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you are actually being aroused, getting aroused. Before you are even aware of your sexuality, the two become paired mentally. So arousal becomes paired with foot in mouth. This happens on a very unconscious level. It's a very cognitive behavioral explanation of the issue. And I've listened to hundreds of stories after this whole foot thing on my page that, yeah, you know, I used to have a babysitter or I used to have an aunt.
Damn, there's a lot of
She's yeah,
babysitters
there's
doing
a
crazy
on
shit.
my
Yeah.
aunt.
Yeah.
You know, she'd like put her feet on my, you know,
Yeah.
and they become paired. So our brain is an amazing thing. How the two become associated, and as men, teenagers, as you know, you start to see feet and you start to get aroused, and then you're ashamed to tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
But it's a legit thing. It's not
Yeah,
funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel like, oh my God, I just want to be, you know, normal, whatever
Yeah.
that means. But now I need to have the foot there. And
Yeah.
then, you know, the partner, when they have come clean and said, you know, I have this foot. And when the partner says, okay, we can kind of play around with this, the partner over time can become resentful. You know, it's all about your fetish. What about me? What do I need?
Like you
know?
need that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not enough
Yeah.
to get
Listen,
you
we
off. You
could
need
do
that.
a whole
Yeah.
episode
Yeah,
on fetishes and
yeah.
feet and
Maybe
stuff.
we will someday. Maybe
But
we
I
will.
just wanted to explain.
Yeah.
that.
No, that makes sense. I'm glad you did.
I
I'm glad
don't
you did.
have one, but I have no judgment towards people who do.
Yeah.
And I've been asked, you know, can you start a foot page? I kind of thought about it. I'm like, nah, that's really not my dream
Yeah.
to be a foot queen. But
Well, you know what, guys? If you want to see her feet, maybe we'll have her on again. You guys
Yeah.
subscribe. We
I
get
am
enough
barefoot
people.
right now, just
Yeah.
saying.
Okay. They're
Yeah.
there. They're here in the studio.
But it's culturally accepted. That's what we
Yeah.
do. It's not a sexual thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's. I mean, to not shame people, it is bizarre that it is such a popular fetish. But I mean, there's
It
other
is.
fetishes too. So I wonder too, like with that explanation of kind of
It's
what
the
you
same
described.
thing. It gets
I wonder.
paired.
Yeah, I wonder how these
Yeah.
other fetishes get paired too.
They
'cause-
get paired unconsciously, and we try to repress them, but it comes out. And there's so much guilt and shame. And I just want to say this to all
Yeah.
the people listening out there who might have a foot fetish. It's okay. As long as you're not harming somebody, it's consensual.
As long as you're not like sitting at the rock climbing gym waiting for people to take their shoes off and like beating
well,
it in the corner. Like,
but
as long
you're
as
not
doing
really
that,
violating anything, are you?
that's illegal. I don't
Right?
think you can do that.
Doing what? Sorry.
I don't think you can jerk off at a.
Oh no,
rock
I
climbing
didn't hear.
place.
Okay,
Oh,
sorry, I did
sorry,
not
was-
hear that part.
Yeah. I'm gonna get crazy.
Because
on you.
I've had people who work in a shoe store. I mean, they literally go into that profession because they have a foot fetish.
Wow.
What are you gonna do? Control everybody who works at the shoe store? Come on,
Yeah.
right?
Check
And
'em.
people have hair fetishes, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Long as you're not harming anybody, it's
Yeah.
consensual. Who are we to judge you?
Yeah, that's a great idea though. They should just get jobs at Foot Locker.
They do.
and Finish Line. Hell yeah.
They
dude.
do. Next time you're
I'm gonna
trying on a
start
shoe,
asking.
be careful.
Yeah, I'm gonna start asking. I'm gonna be like, "What'd you think of that arch, bro?
Yeah.
Come on.
All right. Wait. Well, I learned why the arch was so important. Like,
Why is the arch so important?"
Because you put the two arches together. I guess there's
Oh.
always a way of finding a hole somewhere.
So flat-footed people are
Not-
kind of out of luck.
Yeah,
They're
because
kinda
I
out of
used to
luck.
get these messages about, oh my God, that arch. I'm like, what's the deal with the arch? I'm like,
Wow.
never Google that shit.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's hilarious that it was so innocent too. If you just
Very
falling into this.
innocent.
Yeah.
And then I just started posting like, oh, now you're just teasing us. I'm like, so what? It's my page. I
Yeah.
do what I like.
Yeah, I gotta get that engagement, bro. I might have to start a foot page too. Fuck
You
it.
can.
I gotta check my arch out after this. Thanks for watching that last video, guys. Click right over here to see the episode in its entirety, or click over here to subscribe and check out all the other cool shit we have on the channel. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Do it.